that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good too.
Josh, you may have to bring your topic on the fly.
It's fine with me. Want to know why? Because I'm always ready. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Ooh. I like
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Welcome to the morning grind. Hey, running a little bit late this morning, so you guys watching now get to watch me eat my breakfast for a little bit. Just kidding. Hey, we got Shannon Wheeler, everybody. Woo!
Has the show started?
Get it up.
I was just stalling for you.
Oh, I was about to say, but it hadn't started, has it?
Yeah, just started. Yep.
Oh, did? Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
There you go. There you go. Very good. Well, hello, Jax. Good morning. There you go. Hey, it's like Coughlin at the Jaguars. When he was coach of the Jaguars, he was like, or the Giants, one of the two, I can't remember, but he was like, meeting started, 8:30.
No matter what.
But at 8:15, you're late. So that's the morning grind rules. That's what's happening right there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is tell everyone good morning out there that may be watching the show. We're going to talk about finding value today. Finding value is always an important thing. So finding and creating value. Is that the show topic I gave you, Van?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Well, we're going to talk about finding and creating value. First thing I want to do, though, is go around and do 60 seconds of gratitude. We're going to start with Ed.
Hello.
How are you, sir? And what are you thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful for my brother. He, I was in a wreck not too long ago, and still waiting on their insurance to get my car fixed. He went ahead and fixed my car up a little bit yesterday. Didn't even tell me. I walked out there and saw it.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Yeah, brothers are good for stuff like that, man. Yeah, I like that. Okay, Josh, what are you thankful for this morning?
Man, I'm thankful. Yesterday I got a call from my boxing coach.
Yeah.
I got my first amateur fight on April 1st.
Now is this a joke?
No, man.
It's not April Fool's Day. This is serious.
It ain't no, like my skills, it ain't no joke.
I understand. All right, very good. Boy, that's a short period of time to get ready, isn't it?
About a month and a half. So I started training camp this morning.
Gotcha. Now, how did he find that?
So I
challenge?
got an offer. So they put you in a portal, and in that portal, you can either be an offeree or an offeror. So I was an offeree. Somebody offered me to fight at 139, April 1st, amateur 3-round, 3 minutes. So.
Gotcha. All right. Very good. Very good. We'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we're going to talk again a little bit this morning about finding and creating value. Okay. And so a lot of this has to do with the idea of how we look at our resources, how we look at money, so on and so forth. And of course, we talk a lot about money and business and income, etc. on the morning grind. We talk about that a lot as a topic in general because the main purpose for us having gathered is from a commercial, like a commerce business standpoint, right? But of course, then we get into a lot of things that have to do with value and relationships and those kinds of things that don't have to do with just dollars and cents. So I would submit to you that they're both completely tied together, but also separate in the sense that your house value does not create or mean what you are as a person, your value as a human being. But your ability to understand your value as a human, and especially in a service business, from a commercial aspect, combining those two things together, I think, is an important skill set. So the first thing I would tell you is let's take a look at a couple of just quotes about finances and wealth, and then think about some of the people that you know, some of the people that you've had some experience with, that how true that these things are to them. So, and these are some quotes from Jim Rohn, just business leader. I mean, these are all great, but they're not all super special, but they have a lot of power if you understand them. So on finances and wealth, the philosophy of the rich versus the poor is this. The rich invest their money and spend what's left. The poor spend their money and invest what's left.
Can you say that one more time?
The philosophy of the rich versus the poor is this. And so, and I don't really like necessarily to use rich and poor. I think it's more apt and more appropriate to say people who are having success financially and people who are not. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you don't have a lot of cash or you don't have a lot of equity in properties or a fancy car or whatever does not mean you're poor. That is a whole totally different thing. As a matter of fact, I would contend you don't get to those other things if your view of yourself is poor, or if you view yourself as a poor person or a person that doesn't have any resources. You don't ever get to that second step. There's not anybody that's gotten to that step where they're feeling good financially that will say, you know what, I got here because my mind was bankrupt. I got here because my thinking was about how poor I am. That is not ever going to happen. I don't believe. Also, the world can take money away. Your value as a person can never be diminished. So as we talk about these things in business and we talk about these things, I feel like it's important for me as a person personally to insert the fact that there's a difference between business success, financial success, and value as a person. So anyway, it's my only 2 cents worth. But so in this instance, I'm going to change that a little bit. The philosophy of the financially successful versus the financially unsuccessful is that the financially successful invest their money and spend what's left. So they're going to get $1 and they're looking for, how can I invest that dollar or invest 90 cents of it in something that's going to continue to return income.
Spend the remains.
And then they spend what's left, right? The financially unsuccessful spend their money and invest what's left. So it's that idea of, okay, I get $1, that's my salary. I'm going to spend 97 cents of it, and I've got these 3 cents left over. I'm going to spend or invest. Versus, I've got $1, that's my salary that comes in. I'm going to find out what's the best way for me to spend 90 cents of it investing. Then we'll spend the amount that's left over. Okay, so it's just a matter of prioritizing, I think, investing, and so. And I think this quote goes hand in hand with a quote about relationships. So if you think about relationships, and one of those quotes is, one person caring about another represents life's greatest value. And then another quote, your family and your love must be cultivated like a garden. Time, effort, and imagination must be summoned constantly to keep it flourishing and growing. Okay, so then what would those two things have in common? What do you think the first quote and these second quotes have in common? Let's go over those one more time. The philosophy of the financially less successful is this. The financially successful invest their money and spend what's left. The poor, or the financially unsuccessful, spend their money and invest what's left. And then the quotes about relationships. One person caring about another represents life's greatest value. Your brother doing that for you represents a great, tremendous value in both money and time, right? And love, etc. Your family and your love must be cultivated like a garden. Time, effort, and imagination must be summoned constantly to keep it flourishing and growing. So what do you think those two things have in common? As you get ready to set your day and you're going to do your prospecting calls and you're going to go and talk to your clients, we're going to help them try and find houses that they can afford. How do those two things come together?
I feel like that whenever you're talking about the financially successful and financially unsuccessful, it goes hand in hand because, with family, you're either going to dedicate whatever you have to your family and have a good family, or you're going to dedicate my extra time to my family and have a bad family. Or not a bad family, but maybe not a strong relationship as you could have if you put that towards, if you put that initial
Gotcha. So
effort towards it.
if you invest in your family, just like you invest in other things. So it's interesting. So if I, not to put words in your mouth, but what you're saying is if you look at your relationships just like you do your financial dealings, then you'll realize that you invest in one just like you invest in the
I
other.
think I'm a huge believer of that,
All right.
personally.
Ed, what do you think? What do you think those two comments have to do with one another?
The time aspect, I guess, instead of, I guess getting what you want now, it's worth more in the long run if you put that time in.
Well, both very good points. What I would say is the way that sort of ties together for me is understanding that if your value as a person cannot be measured, and your value as far as your financial success can be measured, then the effort and time that you put into each is the one thing that you can control and the one thing that is going to be the best for both of those outcomes. For example, if you, Josh, believe that spending quality time with your family and investing in your family just like you invest in your business is a good way to get that family relationship strong and to pay off, and if, Ed, you feel those same ways, then when you're going about your business today, realize that you have something to invest. What do you have to invest today? What do you have to invest? Time, right? So are you going to be a person who is going to invest your time, which is an asset that you have, what would you both agree time is money? So from that business and that commercial standpoint, so if you have the love in your heart in the right place and you know what you're investing in, then think about your time today. And every minute that you're spending with someone, think about the fact that you're investing that minute, that time. That's what you have to invest. So as you do, try to find the highest value that you can. So if you're talking with a client, you're going to want to find out how can I help them get to a loan officer so that they can get their qualification done so that they can buy a house that's going to add value to that situation. For you, you're going to battle situations like affordability, where rates are up a little bit, prices are still up a little bit. We have a lot of people right now that are just right in that space of trying to find affordability. So your value that you can give to that person is to really look to find where that value proposition is and that affordability. So as you're going throughout your days today, keep these things in mind. Realize that what you do have to invest is the present moment. It actually happens to be also the most important thing, and it is the great equalizer. So whether you have $10 million or $10, you still just have that present moment to invest, spend, find value for yourselves and others. All right, Van, take us out.